Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, denizens of the interwebs. I seem to have settled that on that as my intro. This is the Crystal Tomb. I am kcStranger. These are my voluptuous players. And,
Uh,
all five of them. You can't see Kyrian. I'm sorry, question mark. Anyways, last time the party finished, their escort mission, if you will, to bring Hadron Pendulon, the High Priest of Innis, from the cathedral to Spearpoint, military headquarters, where sort of nearest secure location. Managed to down an incredibly stubborn hobgoblin captain who just barely missed downing Kane. Anyways, made their way to the gate. Colleen wisely decided to make them not look like demons at that point, and they all went inside, where they met up with Arden Fenris. Um, Kane was ushered for medical attention, while the rest of the party went to barracks, if you will. Well, it's not quite right. Maybe more of like an administrative building that also has some rooms and such in it. Anyways, there, Arden sort of offered to just take some time to talk for the party to tell him what they saw, for him to fill them in on how the fight against the demons and goblins had been going, and to maybe answer anything that they were wondering about. It was around this moment when it started to dawn on various folks in the party that it was a little odd they were escorting the high priest of Innis when they had met the high priestess of Innis previously, Nistia Cantaniel. A few of them weren't quite sure about the upper echelons of the clerics of Innis, but a few of them did remember that yes, there should be only one high priest or priestess. Um, and Crook specifically had been somewhat concerned about this for a while, um, having been, recently aware of this. Um, and he decided to take out his concern with a stunning strike on Priest Pendulon. Did succeed in the strike. Also succeeded in royally pissing off Arden Fenris, who sort of stared him down and gave him time out, if you will. Um, we pick up as the party sort of gathers in that room. Or actually, no, I take that back. We're standing outside the room, and Priest Pendulon says, and I forget exactly the one-liner I left off with, so I'll just make something up. But
what's wrong with that dwarf?
looks around at the group and says, "Well, hopefully we'll get to the bottom of that. But to be honest, I'm just glad to see you all again." He pauses and looks over at Arden. "If you think we can do so without tempers flaring, perhaps we could retire inside that room and talk this through." Arden nods and looks around at the rest of you. "Any problems with that?"
No, we're good.
All right. So he ushers you inside the room. Priest Pendulon dismisses his two younger uh, acolytes, and you all gather around the table. For a tense moment, you're all just sort of standing and sitting around. And then Arden turns slowly and looks at you, Crook, and says, "Now, what's the meaning of this?"
Oh, did they usher Crook back in?
No, they all went into the room that you were already in.
Oh, okay. Okay, so just sitting there, meditating, middle of the floor, epically. Um,
So maybe I should lay out give you the layout of the room a little bit. So you are currently in the top right room of my little sketch. There is sort of an oval table in the center of the room, so you could be like in a corner very easily.
It's gonna totally be sitting on the table.
Yeah.
There's another sort of corner table over here on the side of the room.
Okay. Yeah, definitely sitting in the middle on top of the table. Legs crossed.
Okay. Then as you come in, like Arden will just open the door to guide everyone else back in, and just sort of stand there and stare at you for a moment and say, "Care to take a seat, Sir Dwarf?"
Or crack open an eye and just go, "Over the end."
On a chair, perhaps.
Have it your way. Get up. Sit in a chair.
Alright, cool. You all gather around, and then at that moment is when he looks at you and says, "So, explain what this is all about."
Gesture to the priest of Venice. This is, well, a man, but not the right man for the job. It's supposed to be a woman, to be more specific.
Equal opportunity high priest here.
Do you have anything to add to that?
Oh, dude, still talking to Crook.
Mm-hmm.
Just shakes his head.
Arden sort of slowly looks around at the rest of you. Do any of you understand anything about what he's talking about?
Well, there was a high priestess named Nistia, and here we have a high priest not named Nistia.
There's a high priestess named Nistia.
Sounds like there used to be. Maybe the priest said something to make me think they know. They could explain.
He looks over at the high priest Hadron, who closes his eyes, thinks for a moment, and then nods slightly and opens them and says, "You've transitioned again, have you?"
It would appear so.
He nods and says, "So then you weren't the ones that I met with several weeks ago at the tower, and then again a few days ago in Citadel?"
Not unless you were a woman named Nistia. And I pull out my time gem to inspect it.
As you do, it is now sort of a what? It's sort of a bluish. It's like indigo. It's in between blue and violet somewhere.
And I hold it up and I look over at Colleen and I go, "Yep, damn it."
Well, you probably should have looked at that one first. Before punching someone in the face.
That was all Dwarf Man.
I know. He's more barbaric than our barbarian.
What's on this table? Because speaking of being a barbarian, if there is food on this table, I am eating said food.
Unfortunately, it is an empty table. There is a like a jug of water on the corner table and some glasses, but that's it.
I'm not into that. All right,
Alright.
fine.
The The priest looks up at Arden. I'm getting an echo, by the way, from somebody. I'm not quite sure. Maybe there's nothing to be done about it, but actually, maybe I'm getting the echo from myself now that I think about it. So, what you're gonna do? Anyways, he looks up at Arden and then looks at the rest of you and says, "Is there any reason to keep anything from him?" Arden sort of bristles a bit, but allows it.
I found Ace family.
Nods. Hadron turns to Arden and says, "When these ones came by the tower for the first time, I learned that they had come from a reality alternate to our own. Some of their memories were subtly different, well, different in important details from what I knew to be the case of the world. Suffice it to say, if I'm to interpret what this one," he nods at Crook, "is saying, it sounds like where they came from, there is a high priestess of India, India, dear God, of Innis, named
India.
Nistia, rather than myself." He thinks for a moment. "Odd, I am not thinking of anyone by that name, so rather large change it would seem." Arden sighs a bit and looks at Kruk and says, "All right, it seems like there's some reason for you to behave as you did. However, you will behave while you are in my section of the city, call it. Understand?"
Of course, I'm always behaving.
"No, you are not always behaving.
You've just met me.
And you failed to behave rather quickly."
I mean, technically he was just behaving badly, but it's fine. We can.
Is that in character?
Yeah.
Man, usually Kane's the one terrible at talking to people. You guys are taking the hit.
I have a 6 in charisma.
Yeah, I know, that's fair.
Balance guys, don't make my uncle angry. Please.
He's your uncle.
Please. I clasp him around the shoulder and smile at the dwarf. Yep.
And you notice a rather strong resemblance, actually. Arden is a bit broader. Fallon maybe a bit taller. Fallon maybe actually both of them have a similar sort of rugged look. Arden definitely older. But yeah, you see the family resemblance there.
I've just realized I don't know who any of you are.
We
They
don't
did,
know who
Lily,
you
honestly,
are.
As
I'm
given the last 10 minutes, we're gonna keep it that way for
So you
at
steal.
least another 24 hours, so we have a plausible deniability.
So you steal.
No.
You just said your name was Thief.
I get that a lot. Look.
Oh my god.
You
that
know
was
what?
so good.
Fuck you.
Was it? Was it though?
I hadn't even realized.
Arden sort of
Okay, so-
steeples his fingers and rubs his forehead and says, "Yes, perhaps do introduce yourself and describe what you're doing here."
Me?
You.
Well, Carulo is a god and sent me.
That's what we learned.
He's a pretty cool guy.
Never
You met
seen
him
a
once.
trebuchet. Carulo sent me, and I have a message for you.
And points to the rest of the party.
Memory's a little vague on the exact wording, but Carulo wanted me to tell you. Basically,
And then instead of going through all that and trying to see which words I'm going to take out, I'm just going to post that in the chat, and then that's what he would say. Unless you really want me to read it.
Give it to me. I mean, you put it in the chat so they can see exactly what I
Okay.
wrote, but
Alright.
at least give me some in character. Come on.
so, hello, travelers through time. Since the meeting in the forest, I've searched at the cause of where you've been going, and I have found it. Continue on your path, he mentioned. He wanted you to not accept aid from unsafe sources. Just to clarify, I am a safe source. You can trust me.
Fallon's personal demon.
You can trust the.
Checks out.
He says, our world is being steered to its end. It wants you to stay on your path so you can continue to save it. Things may change. You will feel a similar sense of what you've done, but Carulo cannot tell you any more. Also, something about a Johann? Red Mountain? Something about...
I'm so
They're
sad I left
fine.
the party right now.
Hey, no, I know that guy.
I'm
Yeah,
so
something
sad I
about
left the party.
Does anyone know who he's talking about?
No, fuck you guys.
Something...
I
don't know.
He was swallowed by a tentacle monster.
You better tell King. what he
Oh,
said.
I don't
crap.
know anything about... Look, he's a
Yeah,
god!
we-
I just did what he said, and then there was a tree!
We do. Okay, Max
Shit
did tell
happened!
us about Johann before.
Shit happened, and here I am, and you're not a woman!
He's
So,
pointing at Kane, by the way.
No.
For everyone.
No, on my screen I'm pointing at absolutely nothing. So just
Say
to
it, my
clarify,
screen.
so I am pointing at the priest in character. Shut up.
Damn it.
Right. I can't quite remember the last time I was reminded of that so much. Anyways,
Delver to tell Kane about this message. So
He
can
just
get
did.
rid of it. I'm not there.
He's
oh yeah,
here.
no, you're right. You're not there. All right.
They don't tell me I can't go fight.
Kane's in the med tit. Turn your head and cough.
We'll get back to Kane. All right.
Beer,
S-
puppy.
So, yeah. So then, Priest Pendulum will speak up at that and say, "Not quite the most straightforward source, but there's enough there that it makes sense. Thank you, Crook, for delivering that. And thank you all for retrieving me. It was foolish of me to be out with the assault imminent. I wanted to ask, did you succeed in recovering Cyphera? I told Clean, Kane, and Fallon, and, and Gamork a few weeks ago. I think that the mystery behind, well, some of what I think this one was gesturing at, may be resolved by whatever it leads to. It may even assist us with restoring the goddess itself."
Is it that Colleen who has that now?
None of us have it. I don't think.
No, one of us does.
Alistair.
Does Crook?
I
Who got Alistair's stuff?
I wasn't there.
Me?
He
Wait,
says
out of
Prauffet.
character, what are we talking about?
Oh, that's what I thought. I couldn't remember if Crook had it or if one of y'all had it.
Oh, the little mirror thing.
Yeah, the mirror
Oh,
here.
the seeing eye class.
Yeah.
Well, what does he say the name of it?
Yeah, he said the name.
Am I aware of that? The name of the item?
Aaron would have told you.
Okay, so I'll just sit there for a second.
Okay.
Oh! This! Right, maybe.
His eyebrows go up, somewhat impressed.
It's just a mirror.
Weren't we
Yes,
stealing
that.
from all sources? I'm pretty sure that was the strategy.
Correct does it now. Just kind of like looks at it. Do I see? What do I see?
What do you see in the looking glass? Well, so you see the room around you, just sort of wherever you're pointed, but then you do see this thread of red crystal that's leading out of the room. And when you look out of the mirror, you don't see it.
Yeah, like check my vision a couple
Mhm.
times.
Is it like that the Kevin Costner Robin where he's looking through the looking glass and trying to stab people on horse? It's fine. We can move on.
Oh, okay then.
So, here, I have it.
So you do. Well, had you given more thought to following it? And he sort of looks towards the rest of the group. And he frowns for a moment after he says that and says, "Actually, wasn't there one more with you?"
No,
No, Kane.
oh, the
Oh
blue
yeah,
thing.
he got hurt like a real bad as usual, and is in a tent somewhere
usual.
bitching.
And with that,
You're not here.
we transition. Across the camp a ways, Kane, you are laid out on your back on a stretcher. You've just had your wounds dressed, you've been bandaged, and now a very large, muscular man with long blonde hair, a very wide chest.
Tarek?
Huh?
Tarek?
Close enough. And
I
no,
was picturing pool party Tarek right now.
yeah, no shirt as well. He's got sort of a brown towel draped over one shoulder.
Wait, why is it brown?
Wouldn't you like to
It's
know?
unclean.
uh,
Don't
opens
come down
the
open wounds with that.
opens the door to the tent you were in, and says, actually in a rather deep voice, "So, heard you got roughed up."
Why, yes.
Alright. I am here to make you feel better, sir. So, if you will just allow me to... Well, he cracks his... He sort of does this and cracks his fingers. Work my magic for a moment. Just rest, and we'll have you out of here in a jiffy.
It's real good. It's real good, Casey. I like it.
Kane complied.
Alright. So, he just sort of puts you through sort of a massage and stretch routine, basically.
Stretch routine.
Yeah. You know, it's just like kind of like an athletic trainer where they'll like, bend your leg back and, like massage you and do stuff like that, right?
Kane is very flexible.
Alright. So for all
You
this,
will be.
actually, let me see. I'm going to see this guy's medicine check. How well he does here. Alright. Shit.
Damn it.
Kane. You recover 56 hit points.
Holy shit.
That's like all of them.
As you just are
That
pampered
was the most amazing massage.
by this like mashup like Swedish sauna guy / Southern good old boy who just gives you the massage of your life. And
How did his massage close my wounds like this? Holy shit!
well, you got bandaged and like
Literal magic fingers.
taken care of
You just
before.
got Mr. Miyagi to fucking hell.
Now you just
all
feel
over.
great.
Like I didn't realize Terran Steel got buffed like that.
So he, as you're winding down, he looks at you and says, "So, how you feeling?"
Feeling pretty good. That was better than it happened a few days actually.
Fantastic.
Who sent you again?
Oh, I'm just camp medic.
I hope you should get paid more than you're being paid.
Ah, and he winks. Who says I'm not?
That was I was insinuating that you're not being paid enough, whatever it is. But sure. Wink.
He shrugs and he says, "What I mean to say is, some folks have been known to supplement my salary."
I
Know
see.
what he's saying.
And then Kane waits like a solid like 10 seconds of awkward silence. Or like giving him like 5 gold?
He says, "Ah, shit, I'm just giving you a hard time of it," and he gives 4 gold back and slips 1 in his pocket.
Kane allows this.
I
So,
would
yeah.
have bitch slapped
There can
you off of that table.
Just real talk, it's only because I only have 5 gold, like, in gold pieces in my inventory. And the rest is platinum.
That's fair.
I didn't give him a platinum.
Also, like, if I'm to draw a near world equivalent, I'm calling 1 gold about $10. So that'd be like a $50 tip. That's pretty good. I mean, given that he's already being paid by somebody else.
Except
Which also reminds
Except
me.
like a potion gives you like 8 hit points and it's 50 gold.
I might be being a bit
That
whimsical.
man-
Don't expect to visit this guy at any time.
Hey man, the army pays well. Okay, just go with it.
Alright, he says, "So, know how I can track down your friends? They didn't exactly tell me, but I can hopefully point you in the right direction."
I don't know.
He's like, "Alright, hang out here, I'll ask around." So he does, and after a moment, another soldier comes in and says, "Sir, I'll take you to the rest of your party, if you're up for that.
Kane does a flip.
Give me
Yes, sure.
acrobatics."
Can we assume that we have a short rest while this is happening?
Yeah, this can count as a short rest.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't need a short rest. I got 56 hit points back from Derek.
Alright, so the soldier who has tracked down where the rest of your group is starts leading you back through the camp. It'll only take a few minutes to get there, so you'll come in shortly. So we come back to the rest of the group as Priest Pendulum says, "Oh well, hopefully he'll rejoin us soon. In any case, thank you so much for your assistance earlier, and obviously if there's anything I can do to help or advise you on your way, then simply let me know." Arden says, "Right, I imagine you'll be wanting to know reports from this side. The actions you took in Westeros were actually quite helpful. After hearing about the destruction of the ruby, I was able to..." You okay there, Kane? Right.
immediate reaction whenever you say
No.
ruby.
Sorry, it took me a moment to catch on. Lol.
Can I
After
shake my head at Kane?
Kane's not there yet.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
You can still shake your head generally at Kane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kane-
where he
Kane
would be
sees-
standing where he is.
Kane senses the head shaking. It's like when you sneeze and someone's talking about you, Kane feels like a pain in his temple.
So he says, "So thanks to the destruction of the ruby, we were able to, not completely yet, but we believe we'll be able to retake Siren. The Dragonborn are back on our side, and they led the assault as soon as they knew they weren't going to be ambushed there. As far as here, as I think you heard, we managed to break the worst of it. There's still a number of pockets of resistance, especially near the castle mount, but we think we'll have it cleaned up within a few days. Besides that, from what I know, that means that the last remaining holdout would actually be Jourdain. They've been beaten back, but still control that city. At any rate, thank you very much for your help. Oh, and actually, he steps outside the door and sort of shouts to somebody down the hallway. You hear a muffled response, hard to understand what they said. But he comes back in and says, someone will be back in a few minutes with the paperwork for your reward payment.
And that's when Kane arrives.
Actually, I was about to say that.
As he hears the words payment.
Yeah, you hear the word payment as the soldier is guiding you up to the door, and the soldier sort of nods and leaves as you walk in
I
the
open
door.
the door and say, "Did someone say something about money?"
Yes, I did. Welcome back, Kane.
I'm here just in time. What did I miss, guys?
Well, that's a man.
Yes, it is. Was there a question about this?
No, well, yes, actually.
Were you not sure that this was a man? Is your eyesight that bad, old guy?
So Fallon says, "Well, you see, that's the what was it? What was his title?
High
Priest
Priest.
of Venice.
Yeah, it was a grand priest, the High Priest of Innis."
Yeah, they told us that when we left.
I mean, is it really
Yeah.
necessary for Kane to know things? We can just get paid.
I've been told this of 9, dude. I don't know why you guys trying to explain this to me.
And as you're
trying to
discussing
find
this,
8.
another guy dressed in sort of a clerical sort of uniform comes in and drops about 30 sheets of parchment on the desk that you're at, nods, and then walks out.
I was gonna get a coat. What is this trash?
Can I glance at the papers?
Yeah, sure. Give me history.
Also, coat. We were getting coats. Where are our coats?
What do the papers say?
Kane can't read.
It's some kind of bullshit paperwork.
Team jackets. Requisition order for team
Where-
jackets.
I just kind of grabbed the papers. Where are our coats? Shake them at the guy.
Can I pick one up and say, Kane, it looks like your coat is in the basement of a warehouse on the other side of town.
Insight check.
All right, as I say, what do I roll to keep my shit together, or do I also believe him?
For keep your shit together check, this is a bit of strange. I actually call it performance.
Give me that deception,
Oh, God.
Fallon.
Okay, hold on.
Max just walks out of the room. I'm gonna get that fucking code.
Yeah, you can keep your shit together if you want to.
I killed it.
Yeah,
I
and
It's the
believe
only
Fallon.
good charisma roll.
Huh?
All right, Maxis, we gotta go to this warehouse. Fallon, does it say which warehouse it is?
He said your coat, not my coat.
Is it both our coats or just my coat?
I say, I don't understand the city this well, so these directions mean nothing. You'll just have to look.
But is it both our coats or just my coat?
It has your name.
I look at the cleric. Why is my coat in a warehouse?
the cleric
Winks at the cleric.
looks over at Arden. Arden slides the papers over towards. He glances over your group, slides them over towards Colleen, and says, I think maybe you know what to do with these.
Absolutely not.
You give it to like.
I like the
second
idea that
person.
Colleen is just the lawyer of the party, she's like, nah, I have to look through all of these documents.
Colleen
See-
is the smartest.
You know what to do with these.
Burn them.
Kane can barely read.
I mean, so here's the legitimate thing. On the one hand,
Probably
Colleen is
best
the
to
single
keep
person with
away.
the best like education level to potentially know this, who like looks the part like they might. On the other hand, at any point that something like this has come up before, somebody else probably did it. So.
I'd also like to point out, just like in my head, this guy's looking at this big barbarian guy, this like scruffy outdoorsy dude, and he's met Kane. So, like, Colleen is the best option for this.
Yeah.
Who can handle these papers?
Half our
So-
party is naked and the other half are scoundrels.
Hey, I have a shirt on.
And one punch the Pope.
It only has like 6 holes in it anymore. I'll get a new shirt. It's fine.
This is why we're getting jackets, Maxis, because your shirt has holes.
This is true.
So, what exactly am I to do with this?
He sort of looks down and says, the last 6 are directions. It's a standard form for these sort of payments. Just fill it out, describe what you did, describe any arrangements we may have had, mention how many enemies were dispatched, etc. You'll see it all there, and we'll get your payment to you.
So as
Mention the
Colleen writes
codes.
this out, as I
I'm
say,
gonna
as
need a
Colleen-
pen.
I was gonna say, Fallon, this looks like one of your thingies. I don't sign things.
Colleen's slacker.
Your thingies.
I mean, have done paperwork, I assume, in the past. My father was basically a fucking in-between merchant for
That's true.
With the
a
intelligence of
large
eight.
body of land. So I would assume that I am familiar enough to help go through these documents.
You could actually
well-
probably do a reasonable job.
Whenever these people start writing shit in the papers,
Let me
Ian's
see
gonna
what's
be
here.
like, don't
Let me
forget
look at your
the
character
coats. Just
sheet.
make sure you put the coats in there, okay? Just make sure you write out the coats. Like they told us we would get coats. You know, one
I
master
think
size,
he
one
wants
normal size.
coats.
It was a verbal agreement.
Oh man, you can actually hear
So-
me with your old.
Incredibly, probably not the time while the city is still partially aflame.
This is the main reason we came here, Max. is
You're
what
not
you-
wrong.
Arden sort of sighs and says, I'll leave that to the rest of you to take care of later. I did want to ask, though, is there anything you learned about either your enemy or the forces that you encountered there that would be of relevance to me or to my forces?
In that area over there that we just at, or at the
In
other city
Westeros.
place that I was.
Yes.
Oh yeah, at Westeros. I mean, there was definitely lots of enemies there. Colleen, you can explain better than I can. You know,
What? Your voice cut out.
I was
You
saying,
said
oh yeah,
that you want me to
Westeros.
explain what
I
happened.
was definitely there, and there were lots of enemies. Colleen can probably tell you more about it though. She's the smart one.
I point at the dwarf and say, he can tell you all about it.
Do I know where Western is?
No, and Arden is pretty sure that you weren't there anyway.
Okay, just eyes closed, meditating, don't and not even paying attention.
I don't know where Westeros is, where we've been, what we're doing.
That
Was
the one stupid
Westeros
dungeon.
the town that we
I
went
only
to?
know
Yeah.
Yes,
Murder a Jim?
that you guys were just at this town where you like, would, Corin died.
Yeah.
And, like,
Wait, he
The
wasn't
mayor's
there
place?
in the briefing? I thought he was there for the briefing. When we told the prince and other...
Arden is
Not
asking
nice.
for a report back about what you saw while you were there.
At the mayor's house.
There was a burning lake,
Yeah.
oh yeah, the burning lake. That was
brambles
crazy,
spread,
man.
impassable brambles spread across the area.
Oh yeah, those brambles.
We're
The
pretty
mayor-
sure the mayor was turned into a demon? Or was eaten by a demon?
He nods and points at Maxis. This is the sort of thing I'm looking for.
What? My information wasn't good.
Or
He
was maybe
looks up
just
and says,
dressed
The
up
lake was
like-
burning.
Maybe he's running for election.
And I say, yeah, I might tell Kane his jacket's in a warehouse, but when a lake is burning, a lake is burning.
Wait, are you trying to say the jacket was a lie?
The
No,
adults
it's the
are talking.
truth. What are you
Uh,
talking about?
Arden looks over the rest of you and says, "You know what? Actually, I think I need to get back to commanding my men. Priest Pendulon here probably has things he needs to do."
I think the old guy fell asleep, guys.
We really need to get like some kind of thing that just records everything we do. That way, when people ask us questions and we are not at all prepared to answer them, we can just be like, here, look at this magic rock.
So like all the
Can
time.
you make a magic record rock? Is that a thing?
Anyways, I will be on my way. He steps outside the door, and he says, there's some rooms for you down the hallway. Go left at the corner, or the first intersection, and they're the rooms in that short hallway. Feel free to use those for as long as you like. Hopefully the city should be secure within a few days, and you can go easily on your way. In the meantime, there's a desk at the front. If you return your paperwork there, we'll start filing it. Anyways, and he looks over at you, Fallon, and says, "If you need to find me, ask around my office. Should be able to track me down soon enough." Anyways, with that, he looks around, must be going, and he says, "And you, crook, do behave, please."
On his way out, I
I'm
said,
not a
yeah, I'll
crook.
find you and regale you with my bard's tales of burning lakes.
He looks at you and says, "Maybe over some whiskey or something, that might be alright."
Yeah, we flew on I summoned some giant birds that made us fly over the lake and the bramble to the mayor's house, where a evil gnome played games with us in each room of the house. But it's
I really wanted
The
you to be
story
like,
gets
yeah, we
better.
flew on my dog.
He,
Good morning, Captain.
Arden looks at you and says, "I don't understand any of that, but somehow I believe every word of it."
I could conjure a damn Quetzalcoatl right now. Half tempted. Half tempted.
He
As
says,
Arden tries to. Oh, go ahead.
"Oh yeah, no, he's sort of turning to leave, so go ahead."
Yeah. Just give us a.
Excuse me. Something has just occurred to me. Does the eternal God still exist in this realm?
Just a second. I have to figure out. Okay. He looks at you and says, "I am not aware of the existence or non-existence of any such group."
No, it's quiet.
Okay. He turns and walks away. Let me. Oh, interesting.
As the
Okay.
door closes behind him.
By the way, the priest is still there.
Okay, so yeah, as the door closes behind him, it's going to be like, so who was that guy?
That was his uncle.
You have an uncle?
We know you can't read, but
Does
can
he
you not
always like
listen
this?
either?
I wasn't there for the uncle bit.
Fallon says no. Sometimes he's worse.
Also, just, hey, quick question. Did you ever tell us about the steak lady being your mom?
I don't think I did.
Damn it.
Well, actually, did I tell it in front of people and y'all heard?
I don't know. I want to talk about it in character, but
Gathered some of that when we were being tortured in the cells.
Oh, torture.
Because they wanted you specifically for ritual stuff.
I don't think they really said why. You just kind of took them, and I wasn't there for that torture either. I was busy being lavished with grapes.
He got.
Yeah, oh wait, because I
so
remember
damn it.
Fallon specifically told Anya, but he did it like secret like. I think Kane tried to listen in. I forget if he did so successfully.
Oh wait, no. Wait.
I didn't think so.
Wait, okay,
I think
Casey,
I
we have to check
remember
this
that.
afterwards. If Kane succeeded on eavesdropping, because I remember eavesdropping for the sole purpose of being able to talk about this, like in front of people.
Right.
I want to look at the priest and say,
So sorry. Sort of.
He
That's not really much.
he narrows his eyes at you and says, "And if I knew something of the Eternal Guard."
Was that the whole sentence?
What? Oh, what about? I'm confused.
What I'm saying
Kane
is,
too.
you're saying that you're sorry, not really, but kind of sorry, and I'm wondering if your feelings would change if I told you I knew something of the Eternal Guard.
I mean, probably not. But
Gotta respect
I
his honesty.
appreciate you telling me.
You're at least an honest one. Well,
Yep.
he looks around at the rest of you and says, is there any assistance or I can provide or a question I can answer for you? Just checking before I go about my business.
You. What? Oh, never mind.
Have you heard from Innis?
Not recently, and
Is she still in a coma?
I'm sure you're familiar with the reason. Although I don't know any details. Well,
So why
at
did
the
the
very
monk
least, I
punish-
imagine you know more than I do, given the events that seem to be surrounding your group.
So why did the monk think you were a chick?
Apparently, in a past version of your reality, there was not a high priest of Innis, such as myself, but a high priestess. One by the name of Nistia, they say.
There's not more than one high priest person?
No, there is not.
Oh. More of those temporals, huh?
He
Eternal
nods.
God.
Temporals, yes. Apparently in this reality, Kane also got fixated on temporals.
Nice. I like the Kane's
Is this a
consistent go.
different Kane than what we know?
are we?
Well,
like,
the Kane...
This is the smart Kane.
The Kane that the priest remembers is different from the Kane that you guys remember in certain ways, but not temporals,
Do
apparently.
you know your face when I said that?
What were you saying, Kruk?
This is an OG Kane.
This is the smart Kane.
So,
Darkest
Ah.
timeline.
Eternal God.
Yes?
I mean, do you know, or are you just going to sort of hang that above my head? It's pretty easy, I know.
Well, do you have
How
a
is this
specific
not what you make
question?
Uh,
I know of them, but I'm sure you know of them as well.
oh, I've heard of them.
They are in existence, if that is all that you
Oh,
wish to know.
Wonderful. Oh, that's just a casual question.
Very well. He
Oh,
looks...
hey.
Oh.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so, with the High Priestess, we had this, like, conversation, and she talked about stuff from our pasts and things. Did we have that same conversation?
Probably not the same conversation, but a version of it, yes. That's how I'm aware of your somewhat loose relationship with time.
Well, like, so, do you know about, like, our pasts and stuff, too?
Some things.
I kind of squint at him. Does he know what I'm talking about, Casey? Does he
Oh.
know? Does he know?
Interesting. Give me. Well, let me see here. Do you want to press him anymore, or do you just want to see if he's giving you any kind of like unnatural reaction to that much?
Okay, so I squint and I'm like, but like, do you know about our past?
Um, okay, he says, I first became aware of your group in my prayers with the goddess. I became aware that she was helping you for some reason. I looked into it some and found, well, some irregularities about all of you. Apparently, and sorry. Some strange gaps in the knowledge of you by those who are close to you. Rather subtle investigations, if you will, but to be honest, no, I have not pried too deeply into all of your business. And you can give me insight on that if you want.
Am I hearing this?
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
We all are.
Are you saying that you have gone to talked to people that have known us? Because I find it mildly difficult to believe that you found out anything from Piotrek. At all.
So, Kane, you don't think he knows. You're getting a pretty good read on him. You don't see him being coy or giving anything away. What you really see is that, like, he mostly seems to be concerned that what he's talking about could be construed as a little bit creepy. And that's what he's mostly self-conscious about.
Try and downplay it.
Yeah.
Just talk to your family members and stuff.
But Maxis, he looks at you and says, well, to be honest, I had certain visions that I managed to piece together into knowledge of you, and through priests who I sent to each of your homes, learned a few things. He looks at you, Kruk, and says, I know that you lived for some time as a miner in Bulga before moving to your current location. He looks at you,
He's definitely
Maxis,
lived for some time.
and says, I know that you're from the far north, and that you journeyed south on your own to Rampart some time ago, where your reputation precedes you. He looks at you, Colleen, and says, not exactly hard to gather information on one such as yourself, but I suppose I am in a way honored to have your presence here. Not that this is my home or anything. And Fallon, he looks at you and says, and I know that a human ranger appeared with some suddenness, first in the gnome territory and then in the human. One of my priests spoke with one Adora Beazle Winterschnitt.
You made that up.
Fallon says, doesn't ring a bell, go on.
Right. Well, at any rate, in the case of all of you, we found that some acquaintances were unable to describe exactly how they met you in the first place. Which...
Who did you talk to about me? Just a name. No further details.
Mira?
Okay.
Anyways, the gaps seemed odd, but to be honest, I haven't managed to get much further than that.
Yes, I get headaches when they happen. Anyone else? Just me? Alright.
When what happens?
Nothing!
So you get headaches like all the time. Then, that's medical condition. Actually,
Are you
they call
sure you're not just like,
migraines.
you know,
honestly.
standing up really fast or something?
I
Or
will
like
put you both on the
moving too
ground.
hard?
You will be harder to do, but eventually I will put you there.
I mean, sinuses also could be. There's a lot of ragweed around.
Like when these headaches happen, do you also feel like a pain in your arm?
Crook
Like a
just like
numbness?
gets up, walks across the table, hops down, and then just exits.
We're really good at accomplishing things.
He, Priest
I think
Pendulum
you're just
looks
the old man.
and says, "Right. Well, I'll be around here if you need me. At any rate, I know that you must have many aims competing, but,
We have no idea what we're doing, dude.
I'm gonna start on these papers. By the
You
way,
bet us.
Easy.
I'll read over them with you.
and he says, but, do give some thought to following the looking glass. I think it might be of some importance."
What looking
Oh yeah,
glass?
the dwarf just took it. Damn it. This is.
I will chase down the dwarf.
Anyways, I'll be around. And with that, he leaves. Okay, so, Maxis, Colleen, you two are working on the papers. Colleen, give me a history check to help.
History. I'm good
Or-
at history.
Or I guess, maybe this would be investigation, actually. Are they the same for you?
No.
No?
Better
What's
at history.
investigation?
I still rolled subpar.
Alright, fine. Roll investigation. I'm sorry.
Weird.
Oh,
Thank God.
alright. Okay. So, Maxis, you are going to roll your own investigation, but add, 5 to... We'll add 5 to whatever you roll.
Alright.
Alright. So yeah,
Nice.
you and Colleen sort of spread things out, and,
I take out a small leather case and open it, and it has just like a row of like charcoal pencils. And I take them out and place them all in a very specific row, and then I just get started working on this stack.
I really wanted you to pull out glass. Like,
Oh, that's funny. So yeah, you spread out the papers and you start to parse the legal bullshit. It's not like U.S. tax code level bullshit, but it's definitely bullshit. You manage to find, though, the appropriate spots for all the information that you need to record.
On the section that they were like, hey, agreements that you had before this, right?
Jackets.
Okay, yeah. I'm totally putting that we were going with coats, or we were supposed to get one. What is the color that most clashes with blue?
Why did I leave?
well, it depends. Are you talking the color wheel? Because that's right up my alley.
Yeah, so we're gonna make... I'm specifically... Kane wanted a bright orange and yellow jacket.
You
nope.
wanted it- You're on it.
I'm gonna say
With stripes.
orange and pink instead. And he wanted just be as bright as possible.
Orange and pink together is not a good no.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
Imagine Colleen just kind of sees this and goes,
No, Colleen's totally behind any orange cane.
With brown piping and cuffs.
Yeah, it for like it doesn't have buttons. It needs like top that you loop around.
Oh gosh. All right. I'm sorry. I'm writing this down, and I was just having a momentary glitch on my sheet, so
What's
I'm reopening.
piping?
Don't worry, I already have it.
All right. So we have
There will
a.
be art.
Wait. Why won't it let me?
Yo, what's brown piping? What is that?
Oh, this is
It
so
doesn't have to be
obnoxious.
brown.
I
but-
don't know which piping. I legitimately don't know what that is like visually.
Here, I'll find you a link. I'm not gonna search brown piping though.
Yeah, don't do that.
Good God. All right.
And you could do it.
All
I'm
right.
not
So
the
you know what?
government.
I'm gonna have to do this for now. Because I don't have my Microsoft account
Do you want me to just
authenticated
send it to you on Discord?
on this computer. Alright, so we have a... Well, I just opened a notepad document and can take notes here. So, a
Okay.
bright orange and pink
Oh
coat
my god.
with brown piping. Did I miss anything else?
Brown cups.
Don't forget the
Yeah,
buttons.
no buttons, just wooden toggles.
Yeah, wooden toggles for the buttons.
Made of wool.
Shit.
Oh, yes.
Fallon just monsters.
Okay. Alright. Are you putting any other specific items? I forget what was agreed to.
My coat, but mine was just like a double-breasted, like pirate style leather fucking
I
duster.
gave you a fancy bathrobe.
You
Did
did.
everybody
and I'm
get it? Did we
currently
all-
wearing it.
I'm trying to remember. Was everybody getting jackets?
Yeah. Do we all want fucking jackets? Fuck it. Put your. What do you want? I got this. I put one behind my eel.
He's gonna be so sad when he sees this.
No, look. Someone has to make sacrifices. All right. There's got to be scraps left over.
Can the rest of us all get matching jackets?
I'm really into that idea.
That makes it so much worse if you all match. Mine doesn't match.
Just an action scene, like people suiting up, like yeah, oh yeah, and then Kane's like, "I'll be right there."
That this
All
would
right.
hurt.
So
This would
what
hurt Kane.
what are our team jackets? This
I'm
is
not
Alright.
there.
Alright, so,
we'll
so yeah.
decide on our team jackets.
You
later.
describe in great detail the jackets that you want.
Sick.
And yeah, and also fill out the form like thinking very carefully about all the stuff that you did while you were gone. So like you even record like, you know, every unfriendly that you felled, every challenge that might contribute towards sort of the perceived danger of the situation, and
Do they
therefore,
record that Kane wasn't there?
well,
Wait,
you
no.
see, they're smart enough to
Which-
know that you went with them and you came back with them. So therefore, you know, you word things in such a way that he was part of the group that went to
Well,
Westeros.
but
did
do
this,
they
blah,
though?
blah, blah.
I'm saying, do they do this? Do you guys? see
I
that?
don't imagine they do. Do you?
What are you talking about?
Like say that
Kane
Kane
wasn't
wasn't there
there.
the whole time?
For the whole Westeros thing.
No, the Westeros thing? No, probably not. Yeah, you got locked in a closet somewhere downstairs.
I mean, that works too.
All right. So,
Poltergeist.
anyways, you fill out the paperwork. All
It's
right.
actually worth the embarrassment.
So, with that, then, you go to the desk, you file that. With that, we have sort of actually some downtime. So,
I'm following the monk.
oh, okay, that's gonna be a thing. All right, Crook, where are you going?
Into the room and shutting the door and locking it.
Okay, Kane, you arrive at a locked door. We've never been here before.
Hey man, I've gotten better at that. Okay,
Also, Crook, give me perception. Kane, give me stealth.
I got better at
Are you
lock
putting up
doors.
your hood,
Okay.
Kane?
Yes,
All right,
I always put up my hood when I'm sneaky.
all right.
That's a bad roll.
All right, let me just check something real quick.
Literally just your
All right.
bonus wins.
You could have crit failed.
Okay, yeah, Kane, you arrive at a locked door.
I'm sure he's in there.
You saw him go in, so unless he then left through the wall.
He's an Earth bro. He can do that.
I shall take note of
Oh wait,
this
are these
door
like
Okay.
and
huts?
return late in the night when everyone has slept.
Okay.
All right, creeper. Jesus.
I'm retrieving the looking glass for us.
Yeah, sure. Whatever floats your boat, buddy. Whatever I tell yourself.
Give me the 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 foresight necklace,
Absolutely not.
please.
He doesn't have it though.
That I'm
Wait,
pretty
what
sure
happened
is true.
to it? Wait, where'd it go?
You don't. If you don't know, you don't know, man.
I mean, I would like to know. Kay won't know, but I'd like to know. What happened to the foresight thing?
I don't
Anyways, moving on. So, as I
Wait.
said, we're going to have a little bit of downtime. There's going to be a few days where the army is sort of working to clear out the city, and y'all are just sort of resting and whatnot. Maxis wore it, and somebody took it off of him because, had to get him away from it.
But who took it from him?
Anyways,
Okay, so we still have it. Okay, I forgot Fallon took it.
If able, Crook would help out take out some of the demons throughout the downtime.
oh, okay. Well, I was gonna go around to each of you in turn, and
Oh,
sort of
okay.
figure that stuff out a little bit. So, actually, with that being said, I'm gonna randomize my starting point on this. So you're gonna have, like I said, about unless you're like, I'm sorry, I'm hearing myself like on a delay right now. It's very distracting. Anyways, so unless you are looking to like immediately get out and do something, let me maybe check that with the group. Like, are you looking to leave in the morning, or are you looking to like take a few days and rest? Because I'm offering them.
Do we know
I'm
what we're
breaking into
doing?
Crick's room.
You have not decided yet. You have not decided your further course.
Well, I mean, we just got word from a god that we should continue on our quest to find all of the vestiges.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that it's like I feel like that whole thing where we went into the mayor's house. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like that beat the crap. So
You cut out.
Sorry, I feel like that beat the crap out of us going to the mayor's house. I think in character, I'd be all down for like taking my boots off.
Yeah, well, that plus that I would like to stay here for a little bit and actually get some more supplies and stuff like that before we ship off, because I used so many potions.
Also, there's the matter of your payment. That'll take a few days to process.
And we
Yeah,
get
we're not leaving till then.
we get sweet coats.
Yeah, if you leave now, you don't
Hate
get
you
that.
guys.
So,
We
alright,
also got a coat for Crook.
with that being the
That's
case,
the same.
I am going to, so I'll just go left to right, 1 to 5, with who I start with, and then I'll just go around after that. So, alright, so we are going to start with Colleen. So just to sort of specify what it's going to be like I said, it's going to be about 3 days where right now the city's pretty dangerous. By the end of the 3 days, the city will be much more cleaned up. What, if anything, would you be looking to do during this time?
We're gonna have some clean cane adventures because I need some mischief in my life.
Okay.
Kane is mischievous.
That's what we're gonna do. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna do something.
Okay,
You
I
can
mean,
figure it out, and I'll enable you.
I'm breaking into Crick's room, so
That's a good
get
start.
the looking glass back.
That's a start.
so should we jump to tonight? Is that what we should do?
No.
I mean, if you immediately say Kane, let's do mischief. And I'll be
Well,
like,
this is Colleen's turn, and she immediately brought you in. So, all right. So we jump to. I'm just literally going to be very loosey-goosey with timeline on this. I'll try to keep it consistent, but we'll see how it goes beyond that. Okay. So we jump to tonight. Colleen, you you know Kane. You pretty much know that if you just like wait
Follow.
in a spot with like a view of the hallway, that you'll see him up to no good at some point. And sure enough, you wait outside for a whole like 20 minutes before you notice his door open and a shadow slip out the door.
All right, so just follow him.
Okay,
Normally.
are you trying to follow stealthily, or are you just like walking behind him?
I'll just walk behind him.
Okay, Kane, you slip out of your room to do what you're gonna do, and you just notice like Colleen tailing you.
Don't look at me. I'm gonna keep going, I guess.
Don't look at me.
Okay, you're going to Crook's room.
Yeah.
So, what are we doing tonight, Kane?
I'm retrieving the looking glass for us. But shush.
I mean,
It's a stealth mission.
okay, I'm interested.
Do I hear them talking outside of my room?
Give me perception with disadvantage.
I specifically waited to like a time where I think he'd be asleep.
Colleen and Kane, both of you give me stealth.
Oh, don't even bother.
Colleen might crit fail, then it could be interesting.
Ooh,
Oh.
yeah.
Or Kane. Kane could crit
What are
fail.
they talking?
I'd have to roll a double one to crit fail.
You've done that before.
I rolled a nat 20.
I rolled pretty well.
Okay, yeah, you don't hear them.
So I'm gonna use the ring to look through and see is he in fact asleep?
Well, based on what he just said, I take it he's not asleep, but, Crook, you're in just a fairly spare room. There's, like, a cot and a table, by the cot. There's a single window that looks out on the street. And then there's just sort of a clear area with, like, a few hooks that you can hang things on. Other than that, the room is, basically unfurnished. It's just like a stone floor. Very simple, whitewashed. What does Kane see? So Kane has just... Crook doesn't know that he has this, but Kane just activated a ring of invisibility, so he can see through the wall and see the basic contents of the room.
Crook is sitting up, is meditating in a meditative stance, with the armor off, like shirtless, just in pants, and there's like a series of rocks placed out in a semicircle in front of him, and he's just sitting there quietly.
Colleen, I need you to get him out of his room. Can you do this, Colleen?
I think you're muted.
I can't.
You're
Oh, I
muted.
can't. We can't hear you. Colleen.
How exactly would you want me to get him to leave?
That's up to you, Colleen. That's your mission.
You know I'm not very good.
Maybe offer him some food, or like
Feminine wiles.
Fallon's just standing there.
You will jump in terror. Oh my god.
it's like, oh shit, Colin, where'd you come from? I don't know. Maybe it'll be like, hey,
Oh,
can you help me with the thing?
Oh,
You
really?
guys didn't see any of that. Fucking whisper limits. No, nothing happened.
I'm sorry, what?
Come on,
what?
Colleen. This is up to you.
Nothing happened.
Just get him to leave. Just for a few minutes. That's all I need.
Okay.
I go hide
I
like
knock
around the
on
corner or something.
Crook's door.
Crook, there's a knock on the door.
I'm asleep!
You don't sound very asleep for a sleeping dwarf.
I'm getting there!
Gross.
There's a moment, and then door open. Crook's just standing there, shirtless, staring at you.
Fancy an evening stroll?
There's demons out there.
Well, we can walk around the whatever we're staying in.
The halls?
A mansion, a castle, a fort, I don't wherever we're at. Wherever we're
Why?
sleeping. Well, you are rather curious and new to the group, but I would like to understand you better before you thwart all my plans.
All right, come in.
And then offer Colleen in to the room.
We walk and we go that way.
Can't we just sit? You're very pushy.
You
It's
get
a
used to
lovely
it.
So it's a lovely evening. Everybody's just bleeding.
You know, fires and bodies and things.
Typical.
Alright,
Sure. Bucket.
sorry.
Croc will go in, put the armor on, gather up the rocks, put them in the bag.
Okay. I'll follow, I guess.
You collect rocks too.
You collect rocks?
I'm very interested, obviously.
Well, do I have the purple stone now too, or he's still got the other purple stone? I just have my yellow one, right?
What are we talking about?
Right. No, it's pink actually, but yeah, you've got it's like a sort of golden yellow color.
Yeah, so I've got mine, and Maxis still has the other one.
Yeah.
So I talked to it.
Which, by the way, I'm totally gonna wake up in the room just surrounded by zombies, completely alone, and just be like, "God damn it, not this again."
We'll get there. We'll get there.
So I pull out my creation stone and I walk him down the hallway.
Ooh, Croc tries to get it.
Oh, let me see.
As soon as they're out of sight, I go to the door.
Okay, I'm gonna follow them for a moment. Clean, do you let him look at it?
Not if he's gonna be grabby about it.
I just want to, you could have one of mine.
I take a very examining look at his rock.
It's the most plain Jane boring rock you've ever seen in your life.
I
it's
pick it up
literally
and I
just
say, fascinating. What does it do? What spirit is in your stone?
Oh God.
There, none.
What?
There. What's in yours?
Your rock doesn't talk to you.
Well, sometimes.
So there's a little boy living in my rock.
Oh
His name
God.
is Lacidel.
This is taking a turn.
Is Crook holding the rock? Is
That's
Crook
up to
holding
Clean.
it?
I never
Okay.
heard that she actually gave it to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
up until this time, just like looking, sniffing it, lick it, kind of shake it, and then as soon as you say that, just
Oh. Actually, or
No, actually, he's in there. He's very curious and lively.
is he okay?
Lacidel, are you okay?
Just because I always do this, give me charisma.
It's like, well, he licked me.
It's very
I'm-
wet in here all of a sudden.
I have been licked by a hot
Never
by
gonna
your
be able
own
to use
dwarf.
my stone.
I'm a bit damp, but otherwise okay.
dude. Does
Yeah,
Crook hear this?
No, you don't hear this actually. You just hear. Is Clean talking out loud though?
Yeah, I'll talk out loud.
Okay, yeah, you just hear Clean having a one-sided conversation. Go ahead, Clean.
Well, yeah, so this is Lacidel, and he's my spirit stone, and he gives me magical multidimensional powers. In short.
I can throw mine. About it.
Yes, you seem to be the straight to the point sort.
It works.
Throwing
sure?
it with
Friend.
Clean, says Lacidel. If you trust this one, have him put it on. Because the stone is on like a chain, like a
Yeah.
necklace.
Crook, do I trust you? Because I don't think that I really do. But if you're gonna be with us, I would like to.
Well, you have just met me, and I don't control you or your rocks, so
But I.
that's
control
up to you, honestly.
just stay right here next to me.
Why?
So that you don't run away with my Lacidel,
Oh,
because
you
it's
can have
very
your
dear
friend
to me.
back.
No, put it on. See what happens.
I don't like that.
That's a reasonable
It's
response.
important to be curious.
But not die.
I'm
You're-
kind of a
you're not-
specialty in that area.
That's reassuring, Colleen.
I'm old, I've seen shit, but you're creeping me out. What does this do?
What do I know about this rock? Like, what the fuck is happening?
It is a sort of a golden yellow stone. Nothing too remarkable, actually. Sort of like amber almost. That's on just a sort of matte gray chain. It doesn't look that remarkable, although when you look at it closely, it has sort of an inner glow to it that's kind of intriguing. Um, let me see here.
So if-
Oddly, it tasted a little bit sweet, which is unusual for a rock.
I'm gonna lick it again.
Even though there's no
I
boy
give
in
you a
there.
very concerned.
It's not bad. It's not bad, actually.
Must be an expert on minerals and
No, no, no.
Marie?
spirit stones.
Well, so yes. Would your friend be hurt if it moved really quickly?
Uh, 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 well,
You know what? Here, just take it back.
Put
just put it on.
I don't honestly trust you.
I like how this turned around. Like,
This is an opportunity to build trust because I want to trust you. We're going to be friends. This is.
Crook's gonna
You know what?
back at his room.
Let me do this real quick. Crook, give me a wisdom saving throw. Colleen, give me a persuasion check.
I'm gonna persuade you. My
Oh.
feminine wiles.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
holy shit.
Oh shit!
know what?
You got the whips.
Fuck it.
And as you put the chain around your neck, you sort of look up after you put it down, being like, "Well, I don't think anything really happened." And you notice actually a boy standing in front of you, maybe a bit over, maybe like 4.5 feet tall, sandy brown hair, golden yellow eyes that match the stone. Sort of an easygoing demeanor about him. His race is oddly indeterminate, like more human than anything, but you keep noticing features that don't quite seem right for a human. And he looks up at you with a cheery smile and says, "Hello. Want to stop licking me, by the way?"
He's actually taller than me.
Oh, it's true. He looks across at you.
Okay. Yep. And then lift the necklace off.
Meanwhile, we go back to Kane. So I just have to validate something here.
The looking glass is on Crook. He doesn't leave any items in the room the entire time.
Okay, that's what I was about to ask.
Probably the case.
Yeah.
So Kane, you approach the door. The door is closed and locked.
I will unlock the door.
Give me thieves' tools.
How far down the hall did we go?
I was imagining that you had probably walked outside, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kane, you pick the lock easily. It's nothing special. You swing open the door. The room is bare.
I say, Kane, what are we doing? What's going on?
What's happening? What?
You just hear my voice.
The room's empty.
Stop.
Well, yes, I can see that.
You can see what? What? What do you mean you can see?
I'm right here, and I like poke him. Well, I guess he's probably invisible too. But...
I'm not invisible. What?
Oh well, I'm invisible.
Okay. The room's empty. So, do you have any like water or like oil or something?
I have my water pouch canteen thing.
Give me your canteen.
What are you going to do with it?
Give me your canteen, Colleen.
Okay.
I need an adult.
I'll hand it to him. Mine's a 17.
Yeah.
This is
Crook, you do notice that Colleen's seems slightly off in her conversation with you, just like takes pauses at weird moments. But you think maybe it's just because she's still trying to get to know you better and is maybe still feeling a little bit awkward around you.
I'm going to take the water and apply the water to the old man's bed.
Give me a charisma saving throw.
No! Fuck you, conscience. Fuck.
You actually pour the water over your own head.
Go
So
roll
Khalid-
around in his bed now.
So from Khalid's point of view, I was just like, give me the water. He's like, okay.
You reach out towards the bed, and then you stop and pour like a trickle over your own head.
Oh,
I curse
Yeah.
by conscience.
Kane, I thought we were doing something fun. what are you doing?
I give Khalid my water, and I say, here, pour this on his bed.
I will not do that.
Illusion, Colleen.
Here's your rock back. I licked your friend, small child.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
switch
now
back
you're on
to
a list.
other Colleen.
All right. So you two finish your
Kane's going
conversation.
to-
Sorry, go ahead.
Kay's going. His conscience won't let him be a prankster. The room is empty. Oh no, Kane's going to like. Okay, so Kane's going to walk to where like Colleen and Crook went.
Okay. You see
Like,
them
I
talking
see,
like outside.
And
and,
I'm
like,
gonna
on the
turn
street.
the ring. I'm gonna activate the ring again. So that's a second charge.
Okay. You can see through. I'll carry over the stealth check from before, actually. So yeah, you can slip through the shadows unnoticed. You can see through Crook's bag. You
I see the glass.
you do see, like, I would guess that it would be in your bag, Crook. Probably close to the top since you were just taking it out. So
Yeah. How big is the rock bag?
Do I even know
too
that he
small for
has
that.
it?
So I wouldn't even be able to like.
Yeah, you
store-
saw him holding
Okay.
Right.
Clean.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I'm gonna walk past
it. Mm-hmm.
and then like bump into Crook, and as I do, try to like pickpocket him and take the looking glass.
All right. So you do know where it is
Like
in
as
the
I go up
bag.
and be like disheveled, like trying to like dry out my hair and stuff.
Wait,
Like as I bump into him.
aren't you invisible?
No, I'm visible. I'm like walking past you guys. Like I'm like covered in water. I'm like trying to like
Oh,
dry myself off, and I bump into you.
Okay, so so Kane approaches. Suddenly, Crook, you see just out of, you know, the shadows nearby, like sort of around a blind corner. You see Kane like suddenly very close. Crook, give me insight. Kane, give me deception.
Oh wait, I wasn't like.
Colleen, if you
whatever.
want to oppose this, you can give me insight as well. If you want to oppose what Kane is doing.
God, I missed the real dice.
The
Yeah,
dice
I
god
don't make
stays in
insight
each of
checks.
this.
All right. So yeah. So Crook, you just see Kane sort of stumble out, and you're like, huh, Kane. At this point,
It's that blue guy. Why is
I
he wet?
need a sleight of hand with disadvantage from Kane, and I need a dexterity saving throw from Crook. You're trying to take something out of his bag. That's harder, even if you know exactly what you're going for.
Why a dex save on this part? What is this?
Because he's gonna have a chance to dodge out of your way as you go for the thing.
Oh, you're right. He won't walk into him. Oh my god, it was so fucking good too. God damn it.
All right. So yeah. So Crook, Kane kind of bumps into you, and thoughts flash through your mind like, "Wait, is he drunk? Is he?" And then you realize, as you notice his hand sort of dart out, what's going on. Quick as a flash, you just sort of relying on your training and instincts. You just duck and sort of spin out of the way. Kane, your hand sort of runs down the side of his bag, missing the opening that you've been going for. And now,
Fucking
Colleen, you're standing there looking on, having just had a conversation about trust. And by the way, I can't hear you talking if you're talking to us, Colleen. But yeah, Crook is sort of crouched back, having just evaded this attempt from Kane. Kane is sort of just not really off balance.
I'm just gonna keep going. Like I don't miss a beat with this. I'm gonna
Mhm.
keep walking.
Okay. Kane keeps walking. Crook and Colleen, you look on.
Like drying myself off. Like that stupid water everywhere.
Just say,
Well, good night.
and then go back to the room and lock the door.
A fucking nat 20.
All right, Colleen, were you saying anything that was meant to be directed to us?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, that's fine. I just saw your mouth moving, so I wanted to make sure. Okay. Colleen, anything else you want to do during the next couple days that we can handle, like, quickly?
No, I'm sorry. I just wanted to use some of my other illusion spells that I rarely get to use.
Oh, no, that's fine.
I was hoping he had a more adventurous idea, like stealing scrolls from a shop or something. but
I
stealing
mean,
nothing from Kruk is good too.
didn't they evacuate the shop?
Mhm.
Different cities, but
I mean, there are other shops, but yeah.
things.
All right.
Yeah,
Uh,
they evacuated the shop. I scoped out, man.
We'll move to Maxis then. Maxis. You got a few days looking to accomplish anything?
Yeah, are there a collection of, with, I guess, the first day, is there a collection of my people in the city? Goliaths.
Right, yeah, no, that's an interesting question. So part of the question is, are you gonna try to leave Spear Point at all? You could look around Spear Point easily enough.
Could I not get to the Capitol Hill or anything? Like,
Well, you could. There are just unfriendlies at various places. I guess the question is, are you looking for, like, an actual, like, community of Goliaths, or are you just looking for a couple Goliaths, which you might randomly find around Spear Point or
not
something?
necessarily. I guess it'd be more helpful if I was specifically. Maxis has done a lot of stuff, and kind of feels like he is, I guess not done, but
Mhm.
he's much farther than he was when he was working with Piotrek and all of those guys, so he's wanting to get some more tattoos finished. Is there
Oh, okay.
anybody like that in Spear Point right now?
Okay, that's interesting. Let me see here. Give me investigation.
Wait, those are tattoos?
Yes.
I thought they're just like birthmark kind of type things.
No, we are ritualistically tattooed.
I thought it's... Oh, I'll go back and read it again.
Okay.
10.
You don't find anyone around Spear Point, and considering the state of the rest of the city, you don't think you're likely to find anyone else outside. As the days pass and we get to like the third day, the city has basically been cleared out at this point. I mean, people are still on alert for pockets of creatures that might be hidden, like in a sewer or in a basement of some random building or something like that. People are still being very careful. But people are starting to slowly move back into their homes. And if you'd like, you can range south into Union Square and see if you can maybe find anyone.
I mean, yeah, I'd be fine with that. I wouldn't be, too concerned. Demons and stuff like that approaching me, and I'm sure if I was going around, there was probably guards and other people around.
Yep.
Also, Crook was wanting to go fight shit, so I could also probably bring him at some point as well.
Sure. Yeah, we can talk about that. But yeah, so let's jump to the third day. You wander down to Union Square, actually sort of wandering around close to that like rougher neighborhood where you fought off a bunch of cultists before. You wander away south of there. You had talked to some of the soldiers around Spear Point and know that there was a small community of Goliaths that lived in that area. And as you find the neighborhood that they directed you to, you realize that's true because you see some of them sort of with like an ox cart and some large trunks moving back into well, it looks like a few families maybe that, or a few individuals that banded together to sort of escape the city who have now moved back. You notice, some old people, some young children. It looks like maybe a couple of the more fighting types stayed in the city, and now like everyone's moving back. I imagine you might come up, maybe even pitch in to help them move back in or something like that.
Yeah, I definitely help out for a while. I mean, it doesn't cost me anything, so I'd be fine with it.
Okay.
And I'm fairly good at athletic shit.
Give me I guess just a straight charisma check. But I'll give you advantage considering the circumstance. Okay. So you sort of chat with them as you're moving them back in. You learn that they apparently just went sort of out into the country in the east, sort of in the east of Citadel, basically made a camping trip of it for a while, and then after they heard the good news, came back. You do, in particular, talk to one of them who you realize is from a village that you've never been to, but that you'd heard about in passing from your father and remembered, because he'd mentioned it as the place that your mother was actually from. The name of this individual is not that. Let me try to get this copied. Dear God, it's this error. Alright. Actually, you know what? I'll just give you the nickname and the clan name. This is actually an older Goliath. Let me see. Male who goes by the name Don Collar. And he mentions basically having moved south for economic reasons a number of years ago. But yeah, you pick up on where he moved from.
Okay. I mean, all are very. I mean, they mean different things and all that. It's pretty, I guess, Maori for the most part. At least that's what I had. So are his and their style, because they're from a different clan than my father, are their style different than my left side?
Subtly, but there are, common patterns that get used by all Goliaths, and especially, some regionality to it as well. It's not like it's a completely different scheme or anything.
Right. Yes, I'll ask him. And I don't particularly mind. Wanted to. What I had in mind is all of our tattoos and stuff have a specific story and all that shit.
Okay.
And I would want to get my right side, which was the adult side, and like a portrayal of you becoming an adult and blah blah doing all this BS, which normally I would have gotten after my journey onto the glacier.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, I'd like to do mine about fucking beating a Baylor's ass, and
Okay.
the only spot that I'm leaving undone is the one that like my family would be like, it would be personal to them to give that section to me, if that makes sense.
Yep.
But so
Okay.
I am doing that.
Okay,
As
so
far as I
so you're
can
just asking for help with that work, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. So Don Color calls over a younger Goliath, explains the conversation he's been having with you, and he nods. They have to unpack a lot of equipment, and you wind up spending a good portion of the day. I need to get the door real quick, just a sec.
Okay.
They tattoo your dick.
Accurate.
It's a large canvas, I know, but just try to make it work.
You wind up spending a good sorry, I just immediately jumped right back in. But yeah, you wind up spending a good portion of the day with them, and finally do get that tattoo.
Sweet.
Were you looking to talk to them about anything else? Ask about anything else? I suppose. As you finish.
I would have asked about my home, I guess, specifically.
Yeah,
Or, like, it's the city, my uncle's home.
Right. Actually, let me do it this way. So as you finish getting the tattoo, and you're just sort of, just initially sort of tending to it, making sure that, like, your skin isn't having a violent reaction to it or something like that. Don Collar comes over and sits next to you, and says, "So, you from around these parts originally, or have you come down from the Goliath territory as well?"
Yeah, no, I was in the very north of the Goliath territories. My father runs an outpost up there where he collects materials from the surrounding farmlands and things like that and shifts it to the city. So, but that
Oh, I see.
wasn't quite the life that I was looking to lead. So,
I understand. While it is a necessary profession, it is not exactly one that is looked highly on.
right.
Well, what path are you seeking?
Um. Well, I suppose that is what all of my traveling and name is meaning. I suppose for the most part, is me finding that path. I I don't, in particular, know much about my mother's clan, as it were. Um, she died before I was really old enough to remember. So, would you? I don't know if you would know anything about them, but
So I'm assuming based on that you've sort of mentioned that you recognize the family name then?
yeah.
Okay. Oh, yes, well, do you remember your mother's name perchance?
I have it wrote down somewhere.
Okay, I'll allow that you provide it for the time being.
Yeah,
Because I actually don't remember either.
it was Minyara.
Wait, it was what?
I think it was Minyara.
Okay. We'll roll with it.
Roll with it, but
I think I have to get the door again. Just a sec.
He pulls
I thought
out
it was
his
funny.
dick and tells you to tattoo
How do you think he applies the
Housekeeping?
tattoo?
You want me fluff pillow?
it. Jesus.
I flip pillow now.
Alright, and I'm back. And with that, his
Pillow.
That was so cut out.
eyebrows go up, and he says, "Oh, then you haven't heard the story of her then. She's, well, it doesn't often get told because of the way it ended, but thinks for a moment. I suppose you may as well know here. Your mother's family," and he pauses for a moment and thinks, "you know how some Goliaths can care very much about lineage and such things, yes?
Yeah.
Well, our clan is descended straight from the Cliffbreaker, General Kasiru. And there are, on occasion, individuals who do great deeds. Deeds that call to mind the Cliffbreaker, and... Sorry, I'm just a little bit distracted. Deeds which call to mind the Cliffbreaker, and which acquire a sort of legacy of their own. Your mother was one of such individuals. There was a pair of clans that were traveling the mountains in the deep of winter. A blizzard came and they were trapped against them for several days. When they, running low on supplies, when they finally made to leave, they were attacked by a large group of tundra yeti. And most of the group was not exactly well fit to fight, and the accounts vary, but the general course of it is that a single pregnant woman fought against, anywhere between 4 and 20 of them, as the story goes, while her husband fled with the old ones and the children. They had left her for dead, but then, some days later, she showed up in the village once again, bearing a small child. Anyways, that was the story of what happened on the slopes of Mount Eitzel, which ironically enough comes from the old word for peace. Shrugs and says,
There's no way I spelled that correctly.
it's,
Yeah, nope, I didn't get it at all.
shrugs and says, this probably isn't the best way for you to hear the story for the first time, but to be honest, your father had every chance to, and you should know.
I'm sure he had his reasons. I'm assuming that my temperament didn't lead him down the path of trusting me to not follow my mother into battle, which I gesture around. Like, I guess he had a bit of a point then, didn't he? But I appreciate the tale.
Nods and says, there are reasons to stay alive, and there are things worth living for. I tend to think your mother made the right choice.
As would I. Although, I probably would have always gone with that route.
Smiles and says, I'm learning something of you, Maxis. If you ever... Looks at you and says, I imagine based on that you are probably not long to stay in Citadel. But if you do return, come by. I would like to talk with you more.
I will look you all up on my... Hopefully the demon menace will have diminished and moved on by then.
Indeed.
So, I just say, I'll take my leave when I felt appropriate, I suppose, and thank all of them and carry on. Which I'm probably going back to the room, and I'm going to stay around there for a while. So
cool. All right, with that, then I'm gonna move to Kruk.
Yes.
All right, so I think you said before that you wanted to try to help with some of the fighting in the city.
Yes, but that was before I met the true assholes that are in this party.
All right. So what would you like to do?
For the first day, I stay in my room the entire day.
All right.
And I let no one in. And I would like to take whatever time remaining to see if I could pull off a little bit of fun for myself and make the brew that I've always dreamed of. That
Okay.
would get me drunk immediately.
Brilliant. All right.
I have a brewer's kit.
Yep, and just go ahead and make the standard check with that. You are a little bit short on supplies here, although maybe you snatched some, or actually no, you weren't even there. Oh, maybe you brought some stuff with you though. So like maybe you were planning this. So let's give it a shot. You put your best effort into it.
Yeah.
And what comes out the other end is let me think. How should I best describe this?
Not as good as licking the rock.
You basically make Miller.
Rude.
I was waiting to gonna make some do that. All right, so getting rid of that. Also, just quick go around to see if there are any magic shops available, and then taking Maxis up on the offer to go fight, and then telling him that the blue one and the female are assholes, powerful, reliable
The female?
assholes.
Okay, so on the second day, you do help out with clearing out some of the houses and such.
Mhm.
Let me think. By way of shortcutting all this, just to see how well you do, give me just give me a strength check with advantage.
Okay. Is this for the fighting or the magic shop?
No, this is for fighting.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah. You pitch in, and I mean, actually, you're quite a more capable fighter than most of the soldiers. So, the group that you're with, like, clears out, like, an entire,
Do I need to make that roll as well?
Oh, yeah, if you're helping out, yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah. I rolled
It's
with
just the
disadvantage,
strength?
but it had two
Yeah.
of them, so.
Wow. All right.
Okay.
Gross.
We've got this.
Even still, just you two doing sort of an average effort, basically carries your group to clearing out, like, 3 different neighborhoods rather quickly. You just, like, break up each with the squad of the soldiers. You easily dispatch groups that would have had them, maybe having more serious wounds or needing to take longer breaks. As a matter of fact, I would say at this point, probably like that same area Maxis where you wind up going on the third day, you clear out like a pretty substantial portion of it, sort of down here, and might get factored into your reward, might not. At any rate, you've definitely made some friends among the soldiers, which is always a good thing. On the third day,
I also previously saved their ale, so they love me.
yeah, you're not wrong actually.
You are the ale savior.
You can, you know what? You
One of my best titles.
if you remind me of this, you will have advantages on most checks for like interacting with the soldiery,
Fuck yeah.
or some kind of bonus anyway. All right. So Crook going then to the third day when some people start to sort of move back into the city a bit. Most of the shops are still closed up, but give me investigation to see if you can find some sort of magically oriented place where the owner moves back in quickly. Okay. You head down towards this area of the city, known as the Golden Mile. And, okay, now let me ask this question. Are you asking for a shop that would have lots of interesting items, or one that would be run by someone who is, like, very knowledgeable about magic, who might have, like, scrolls or potions or something like that?
Both. He has the main interest I have is for scrolls and learning new spells, but there's always fun things inside of magic shops that have like enchanted items. So the enchanted item would be more for pleasure. The scrolls would be for business.
Well, although I don't think you can learn spells from scrolls, right? You can just use them as one-shots.
Yes.
Okay. So let me think about this. All right. I'm just gonna give you this spot. You happen across a sort of, or actually, Okay. On this spot known as the Golden Mile, you see a somewhat lanky, black-haired man, um, setting some items on shelves, inside a small shop. It's on the main drag, but it's sort of tucked away. It's fairly easy to miss, actually. You peer inside and see that he seems to mostly be set up. So you knock on the door and sort of give him a shrug. He shrugs back, pushes the door open, and says, "How can I help you, sir?"
I have coin, and you have items.
Yes.
So I want to buy things, basically.
Are you looking for anything in particular?
Magic items that are fun, and scrolls. Small ones, little small scrolls. Nothing too big or fancy.
Like a spell scroll of some kind, or?
Yes.
Very well then. He rummages around a bit and says, "Sale of anything above the third level, or third level or above, is of course restricted, but I can make a few items available. Um, you're literally just looking for anything."
If there just happens to be one that deals with rocks, maybe. Just
He says, "Well, I have this." Um, he tosses up a scroll for Dust Devil, and he says, "Not exactly a spell for rocks. It's more of a wind spell, but can certainly use it to move a fair bit of dirt and sand and gravel and such." Um, he
What level is it that he's showing?
It's a second level spell.
do you
Um,
have anything smaller?
Perhaps let me take a look. Let me see here.
Be aiming for cantrips more than anything else.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Um, he says, "Well, I've got an assortment of the regulars." He tosses up Mold Earth, Infestation, Thunderclap, Create Bonfire, uh, Minor Illusion, Poison Spray, Prestidigitation, uh, Thorn Whip. Yeah.
Well, maybe this one.
Holding up Thorn Whip and then seeing if he has like any actual enchanted or magical items. Or does he just have scrolls?
No, I mean, he's got an assortment of interesting
Yeah.
baubles, at the very least, sitting out. Um, Scroll of Thorn Whip? Very well. Looking around the room, you do see mostly sort of minor items. You see a bottle that's full of some small clear orbs of some kind. Um,
Do I see any bags or um, small weapons?
Bags or small weapons?
Yeah, that would be focus that he's looking for.
Okay. Um, Let me see here. You do see what appears to be a standard bag of holding. You also see another. It's a small brown pouch basically that has a string with a few beads coming off of it. A red one, a green one, a blue one. Seems interesting.
Yeah, I'll go for that one.
Okay.
What does this do?
Okay. He says, "Oh, that's what's known as a bag of beads. I can't quite say what it does until you give it a shot, but the person who sold it to me said that he made a campfire with blue flames. He said that he grew a fruit tree, and he said that he created a monster with it."
How about I just take the scroll?
Very well then. Um, that will be. Let me think. How much have I been making these? 100 gold.
How much for the bag?
Oh, that? Let me see. I would probably start it at, and he thinks to himself a little bit as I. Yeah, there we go. I'd say probably start it at 500.
Oh, well,
One plat is 10 gold.
Okay, so math is hard.
So like 10 plat would cover the scroll
Yeah.
at his price.
How about I just go back to the scroll thing, and that's it. I'll just take that.
Very well.
And then give him 10 plat.
Okay, cool. You have a scroll of Thornwhip.
Cool.
All
Alright,
right.
that's it for me.
Okay, cool. Kane, we come to you. At this point, I need, let me see here. So, we go back to the first night. Are you still doing what you told me you were going to do?
Yeah.
All right.
Of course.
You lurk outside Crook's room, waiting for him to fall asleep. Crook, give me a Constitution saving throw. Kane, give me a perception check. Okay. Also, Kane, give me a Constitution saving throw.
But that amazing massage I got.
I know. Okay. A waiting game ensues. You try not to make yourself too conspicuous, so you're not literally just lurking outside the entire time. You come by at intervals and check in a way that you have some sort of deniability that you could be doing something else. You start to get tired, but then you realize that Crook has broken first. He has indeed fallen asleep. Or at least it certainly appears that way as you check outside the room.
Alright. Using another charge of the ring. Can I see the looking glass?
Alright, so I'm going to say you used 5 charges of the ring to do all that checking.
5?
How many charges does the ring have total?
7? And I used 2 earlier.
Okay, I'll just make this your last use of the ring.
Alright, cool.
Alright, I don't imagine Crook would have taken it outside of his bag. So
Yeah, if the way that I imagine that Crook sleeps is one on the stone floor, and he just bundles everything up, wraps it in his like shirt thing, and then like uses it as a pillow, and then just falls asleep like that.
Yep, that's actually totally reasonable. So okay, so yeah, so Kane, you see that?
Does Kane get wrecked by old man today? You shall see. All right, but I see the glass in the bag. Just do a bunch of wrappings. And stuff.
Well, let me see. It'd be a little hazy. You give me another perception.
Okay, I just figured.
Just because you're looking through a lot of stuff, even with a ring of X-ray vision.
All right. And before like it starts to run out too much, I'm gonna go open. I'm gonna try to open the door anyway.
You think you see it? Okay.
All right. Open the door.
Give me both thieves' tools and stealth. Crook, give me perception. Okay, yep. You click open the door. You open it silently. Let me check something real quick. Okay, keep going.
All right. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try to go for the best approach to like get the looking glass out of this like wrapped up mess. Are there any other things I could use? And like, nah, it's too big for that.
No, I mean probably
try to like slowly like weasel like through the wrappings into the bag.
Probably the best thing that you could do, yeah, is just sort of try to, as gingerly as possible, make your way into the bag and slip it out without disturbing anything. As you do that, you hear a voice in the back of your mind. Have you quite thought through what you're doing?
We need the looking glass, and we don't know this guy.
He's already fought with you on one occasion, and I'll admit he doesn't exactly... Well, that's not quite true. He seems very reliable in his own way. Maybe not the sort of reliable one might prefer, but reliable. Are you sure you've thought this through?
Have I thought anything?
Well, let's take a moment, now that we're here on the brink of the deed. How do you think your own party will react when they learn that you swindled something from someone who at least appears to be trying to earn your trust?
I mean, Colleen seemed pretty cool with it, but she may be the best judge of character.
You sense more than anything a shrug.
I mean, I don't know. If you think he could hang on to it, then sure. I guess I'll hold off until later. This is all in our head, by the way, right? Like, I'm not just talking out loud, right?
That's right.
I can just say this in my head? Cool.
It's like, there you go. I knew you could do it.
Alright. Can I paint on his face, though?
You feel... You again sense more than anything acquiescence.
I don't know what that means, Casey. You've reached
Giving
a
up.
limit survival cabin. Okay. Oh, giving up?
Yeah, giving in.
I'm
Like,
painting.
fine, have this one. You're already in. May as well justify it. Okay, how are you painting his face?
I'm painting a dick.
Alright.
It's like across his forehead.
Do
Given
this again.
given the earlier checks, yeah, you paint it. Actually, give me sleight of hand. I'm going to compare this to his perception. If somehow you fail this, it could go awry.
Then I'll have to run really fast.
Okay. Yep. You I don't know where you got the paintbrush, but
I
you
mean, I
know.
have a disguise kit. I figured.
Oh, that's true. You do have a disguise kit. Okay, you pull out your
Not
yeah.
actually paint.
You pull out your disguise kit, and you make a little penis on Crook's face, and then you slip out. The next morning around breakfast, you all notice a dick on Crook's face.
Killian looks directly at Kane.
I'm just like eating my food. Like, I meet Kaleem's eyes. It's like,
Kane, give me deception
Really?
just to see how well you're selling this. Like,
Unless I
everyone
thought
still
that
probably
Kaleem-
knows it's you, but like,
I just say,
just see how well
come
you're
on.
playing it off. Like, I just want to see if he's like, yeah, like he's not giving any obvious tells.
you guys only know because it's me.
Right.
I'm just debating
That
if
it's
I should
me.
put another dick on your face too, because that was always fun.
Oh god, no, not again.
All right, I'm just gonna kind of leave that. That happened. Kane, looking to do anything else with your 3 days?
Second day, I want to go find a magic shop as well.
Well, you're not gonna be able to, but third day you might.
So then the second day, I'll try to make some poisons that I can apply to my weapons. And I have a bunch of
Okay,
ingredients.
interesting. Do you have any ingredients to work with?
Yeah, I have Willow's extract, stone's mold, and then mixing ingredients.
Okay, all right. So yeah, you can give me a check with your poisoner's kit for both of those to attempt to turn them into something that you could apply to a weapon. Okay.
One check or two checks?
It was one for each. I was gonna go willows then stones because that's the way you said
Okay.
it, or stone mold. Okay. Let me
All
pull up your sheet. I was only gonna make you get a 10, but that was not a 10.
Dice gods have abandoned me. Actually, I mean, I haven't been rolling super great today. I've actually been rolling pretty bad.
Alright, so let me pull up your character sheet real quick and see
I
like
just have insane modifiers and everything else.
how
so-
much of this
what's
stuff you
that?
have.
I should play a bard. Bards get expertise, right? I should play a bard, Nick.
Bars are busted.
The only thing is, I'm not good at improv, like singing stuff.
See,
I feel like you have to be able to do that.
Bars don't have to be like
But yeah, they don't
singers.
do
But I
it.
feel like I have to like be able to like
You
at
do
least like do like
poetry
a
or
small
make
rhyme.
jokes. Literally, I had
Yeah.
a bard that was a painter, and he just painted caricatures of people for his vicious mockery. It was fantastic.
The only people I've ever known that play bard just play them as thieves, but with better stats.
Alright.
That was
You didn't like my bard?
not
Your
bad.
bard is great.
So, based
He was
on
a
your
bandy.
checks, Kane,
Really.
I am going to say that we will start with the what do we call it? Or willow extract.
Willow's extract, yeah.
All
Are
right.
you looking at the sheet?
Yeah. We're
Okay.
gonna start with that. Based on your 6, so there are 4 main kinds of poison: contact, ingested, inhaled, and injury. Injury is what you're trying to turn it into. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have you roll a d6. 1, 2, and 3 are going to be contact, ingested, inhaled. 4 and 5 will be injury, so you actually succeed in getting it to what you want. On a 6, you're going to accidentally destroy it. Okay, so you don't manage to actually turn this into an injury poison. However, you do get something that you think could like dissolve in a drink or something like that. You get sort of a powder. And
You can just change Willow's extract to Willow's powder.
yeah, basically. I need to think about what this will do. I'll make up the rule for it, and
No problem.
I'll text it to you shortly after the game.
Yeah.
So for the Alright, so willow extract, that's going to be an ingestion poison. So for the stones mold, based on your slightly worse check, 5 and 6 are both going to be destroy. 1 through 4 are the 4 different kinds of poison.
Also, did you guys know you can just type /R instead of typing out the word roll?
Yeah, I've been doing it.
Yes.
I didn't know this until like last week.
Oh,
Like
snap.
no one told me. All right, so remove stones mold from my inventory.
Yep,
And
you
have-
accidentally ruin it.
All right, cool. And the mixing ingredients, how much of that did you use up doing this?
Oh, that will be. Let me see here.
I got
Roll,
9 things.
roll a d2. One charge.
There we go. Okay. All right.
All right.
And third day magic shop.
Yep.
See what
Give me
cool
investigation
items.
as you wander out into the city looking for a spot.
And that's when Kane got lost forever, boys.
rolled a
for-
one
You
and a
wander
two
around the city.
instead of a d20.
You find some interesting sewer grates. You find a place that has something strongly resembling falafel. That's excellent.
I don't know what falafel actually is.
It's like hush
Continue.
puppies. It's like Middle Eastern hush puppies.
Oh,
It's pretty good.
But yeah, you do not find a magic shop, as the city is still sort of recovering.
do I ask people like, hey, where can I get some magic items?
Well, there aren't that many people about. I'll let you try one more time. Give me a persuasion check to try to get
I'm
help.
just a poor boy.
Probably can't afford magic items then. Go home.
Okay, you find like a poor guy who just like hid the entire time and is now already back out begging, and he tells you that old man Len down the street might have some things that you'd be interested in.
Give him 3 gold.
Oh, well, thank you, sir.
Thank you for the assistance. And you know, if you want to brave demons, just so you can get back to begging quickly, that deserves something.
Well, I appreciate it.
I gotta respect the moxie.
Mm.
And I head to the place he pointed at.
Okay. You round the street corner, and you see what appears to be just a house, but there's a tilted wooden sign beside the door that says, "Knock 3 times, ask for Len."
I knock 3 times and ask for.
The
Lynn?
door opens. Yes?
I was told you have magical items.
Ah, yes. Come in, come in.
Sketchy as fuck.
I
He opens
enter.
the door wide. It appears to be his living room. There's like a table set out in what appears to be supposedly an official fashion. There's a number of baubles laid out with little like handwritten price tags by them, as well as some bottles with various colored liquids in them on a side
So,
table. He also
I'm
he also has what appears to be fresh lemonade on a counter nearby that says 1 copper next to it.
Well, first I'll take some lemonade. You know, it's
Okay.
a hot day, maybe.
Yup.
I'll just give him a silver for it.
Oh
I
shit.
don't want to break up a copper
All right.
or break up a silver. So
Oh, well, for that, he takes the lemonade as you're about to drink it, and he takes a spoonful of sugar, pours it in it, stirs it quickly, and hands it over to you.
was there no sugar in it before?
People have been known to complain.
Shouldn't I have tasted it first? Whatever. I did.
You drink it, and it's delicious.
Cool.
It probably wasn't delicious before.
What are these items?
Oh, yes, oh, yes. These are some interesting things that I've, well, picked up over time living in the city, you see.
When
He...
he says, "Can
Go
oh
ahead.
you just came across these items."
Oh, a card game here, a trip into the sewers there, repossessing on my great aunt over there. You never know where you might find something interesting. Here, he picks up a pipe and says, "If you smoke this pipe, you'll be the coolest guy in town. I guarantee
You
it."
know, I actually. How much is the pipe?
He says, 15 gold.
10.
12.
10.
11 and not a gold less.
If I buy other stuff, can you make it 10?
He slides a key next to it. 20 for the two of these.
What's the key do?
This key can open any door. Maybe.
Does anything pique my interest at this table, Casey?
Give me an Arcana check.
I'm just gonna use my fucking eyes and
Oh, okay.
second sight.
You look
Anything
over it.
actually magic?
I'm gonna use my fucking.
Fine.
never
Give
seen
me
magic.
a history check then.
No, second sight.
Oh, second sight.
Detect magic.
Oh, yeah. Okay, all right. Let
Is
me.
anything magic?
Right. I forgot you had that ability. All right. Yeah. You fire up your magic vision and look over. Actually, to your surprise, most of the stuff on this table is magical in some way.
Including the key.
Including the key. It appears to be weakly magical. I think you get the School of Magic from that as well, if I remember right.
That's how detect magic works, yeah.
Okay. So, for instance, if you look at the pipe, you will notice that is, that has an enchantment spell on it. Enchantment? Oh wait, no. No, that wouldn't be right. It would be, I guess probably conjuration. The key holds what appears to be, what even is this?
It's fine. It's all right.
Yeah.
Just need to make sure it's magic. You can.
Yeah, no. It's magic.
So everything's magic.
Most of it. I'll steer
Okay.
you away from anything that isn't magic.
Okay.
I guess
I look in-
transmutation would be the key.
I look him dead in the eyes. Say, what's your most interesting item here? My time is precious.
He puts his hand on a sort of lumpy brown doll with like a stitched smile and button eyes on it and pulls it over in front of you and says, "I would have to say this."
What's this do?
He says, "Well, it'll say whatever you want it to say. Whenever
What is
you want
that?
it to say it."
What? I don't quite understand what you mean. Like I just tell it.
It is an ever-vigilant sentinel awaiting a trigger to do your orders.
All right. How much for that?
20 gold.
Okay. You got any like rings or other like things I could like wear?
He looks around. You both sort of look over the table, and he says, "How about this?" And he pulls over a what appears to be a black helm. Actually, somewhat fearsome, like actually fairly impressive looking. It's made of black steel, It's got some like sort of horn motifs on the side.
What's the helm do?
It just makes your eyes glow red.
Dibs.
How much is that?
He looks at it. 30 gold.
Okay, anything like a bit smaller. I'm a bit steel helm wouldn't quite fit me. Although there's someone in mind for that.
Let me see.
I hope Clean has identified the spell, by the way.
He looks over. He says, I'll tell you what. I hear what you're asking for, but I look in your eyes, and I think I know what you really want. He reaches over,
What I want.
and he slides in front of you a modestly sized, about 1 inch diameter ruby.
What does it do?
You know what it does.
Oh.
Touch it. Just touch it.
Tell me its secrets.
He says, this will allow you to imbue your weapon with a spell.
I just want Kane to walk in and be like, "Hey guys, I found another ruby."
Absolutely not.
Alright,
What town will we
Okay.
destroy this time?
All of them.
the capital of the island. Oh, Braveshine, you're just in time. This old man's trying to sell me a ruby.
A ruby.
Yes.
And you want this ruby?
Okay, so. Old man,
Yes.
Lynn.
Are you
Sure.
sure?
So how much for the pipe, the key, the helmet, the doll, and the ruby?
Jesus.
He does some mental math. 100 gold and it's yours.
Was that everything, right? That was everything you showed me?
Let me
Can
see.
I Arcana check these things?
I don't think you're there.
Not there.
He's
They're magical.
So the
I-
pipe, the doll, the key, the helm too,
Yeah,
and the ruby. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all of it.
100 gold. It's all yours.
Toss him 10 plat.
Oh shit. Oh yeah,
That's
10
kinda
plat.
right,
Right.
right?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Okay. Yep.
Does he have 10 plat?
You
I
you,
have
Because I
90
have the
plat.
bag.
you
I
give
have
it
90
to him.
plat on me.
All
You
right.
have half my wealth, not all of it.
Mm.
All right. Add to your inventory
Oh Jesus Christ! I'm gonna be encumbered.
a
Hey.
pipe of smoke monsters.
Pipe. Smoke monsters.
Yes. Weighing 0.1.
This is the best day ever. I got a new ruby.
All right. Add a
Oh,
talking doll weighing half a pound.
and then I immediately find clean after this. Cast identifying all of these things.
Add a mystery key. Weighing 0.05.
Okay.
Add a dread helm weighing 4 pounds.
Oh yeah, I think that's gonna make me encumbered. Let's see. I'm encumbered.
All right. And add a spell storing ruby. And I'm just gonna wait. Actually, what have I been doing for that? 0.02.
0.1?
0.02.
Oh,
It's nothing. Incidentally, the way that one works is you can cast a cantrip into it, and then the cantrip will go off when you hit something with it. And you can do that once per day.
Okay, so I say thank you for your business, sir.
Yes,
And I
thank
go
you.
find Colleen. And Colleen,
Kane.
I found this really nifty magic shop. I'm going to need you to. You can identify what things do, right?
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna need to do that for all these things. I just put all the items on the table in front of her.
You bought all these things without knowing what they do.
Yes. Well, he told me what they did, but I get the feeling he was either lying or wrong. But they are magical.
Now can I Arcana check them?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I'll. Okay. I think you're crazy, but I'm gonna identify him anyway.
Okay. I'll give that to you all like after the session. Basically, it's literally a pipe that makes different shapes. Like it makes monsters with the smoke as you smoke it. It is a doll that you can program to speak short phrases in response to different conditions. The key has a 5% chance of unlocking any lock into which it's inserted, and once it unlocks something, it disappears. The helm literally just makes your eyes glow red. And the ruby does what I said it did before, although it does require attunement.
Okay. Okay.
What does the ruby do?
So the
You can like
Store a
stick it onto your weapon to store a cantrip in your weapon.
Ooh.
I'm doing it to my weapon, and Colleen's gonna cast a cantrip for me. But okay, so the pipe, to be clear, is it actual monsters or just like shadow puppets?
No, it's like smoke monsters.
Like that can fight?
No.
No.
Okay, it's just-
it's like
It's a visual thing.
it's Gandalf.
Okay, just clarifying this. All right, so I'm going to give Fallon the pipe because he does drugs and I need the apparatus for this.
Hey, I also smoke.
I
mean, yeah, that's fair.
All right, you know what?
Foul.
I'm sorry. Kane, I'm sorry. The thing that I gave you, that's like, honestly, it's way better than I meant to give you. So I'm going to give you 10 gold back as an apology for nerfing the item that I just gave you. So just
Which
take
item?
the ruby. So take a plat back. What the ruby does is it makes an item magical. That's it. Anything that it's stuck to counts as a magical item, but it doesn't gain any other abilities.
I see.
That's more
not
dope than what I
entirely useless. Does it give it like a +1, or is
No.
it literally just magic?
No,
Oh.
like it counts as a magical item now. But like that
Alright.
bypasses certain resistances, for example.
I'll stick it to my bow then. I think my bow is not magic. And then will that affect the arrows I fire from it?
It's an interesting question. I haven't thought about it, is the honest truth. Okay. So looking
And I
at the time,
Wow.
are you looking to do anything else?
I'm just giving the pipe to Fallon.
Mm-hmm.
Say, here, I got this pipe for you. It makes cool smoke monsters. They're not actually monsters. But, like, it's cool. And I know you smoke a lot. So here.
So actually, it's when you smoke from it, you can choose to make your smoke take the form of any creature.
Interesting.
So you have that now. And then I go find Maxis. And I just have this helmet, like, I'm just like carrying two hands, like, in my, they're like, hey, Maxis, look what I got.
It's a helmet. You
It
don't
makes your
wear that.
eyes glow red.
I pick it up, put it on.
Give me an intimidation check.
It doesn't. I don't feel any different.
head explodes.
That would be
Great.
unfortunate.
You put the helm on, and your eyes start glowing red. And Kane, it's the most hysterical thing you've seen in your life. There's this like tall, lanky Goliath with just these deep red glowing eyes.
-1.
Dude. Come on.
I don't think I've seen a negative number.
Can I not? Isn't there a thing about using your strength mod for intimidation instead of charisma? Because that makes no. This is a purely physical thing.
You're holding yourself like
barbarian
you're
thing.
holding yourself awkwardly, like your head is tilted. You're like, does this helm
I'm
make
just
my head look
scratching
fat?
my head, trying to scratch it through the helmet, and
Yeah.
like I don't.
I think there's a barbarian thing for that, but I think it's for when you use it in specific scenario. Yeah. Yeah. So it's just like a horned helmet and everything too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought you might like this helmet. So
I mean, small horns. It's still functional. If they're too big, it ruins the helmet. But yeah.
it's yours. You know, I thought you'd enjoy it.
Thanks. I don't know why is as he walks away just. But why the fuck is he giggling?
So yeah, that's my time.
All right. And with respect to the clock, eventually I'll get to where I wanted to get. In the meantime, though, we'll pick up next time with Fallon's time off and with the party's further misadventures.
3 hours.
Fallon just had to
Fallon.
sit through like an hour. and a
I'm
half
sorry.
with no payoff at all.
Yeah.
Fine with it.
I tried to make mine go quick, but even that.
I'm
Alright.
sorry. Can you
I got a
do
weird
bunch of